and welcome to another episode and another season of Chris Sees the Internet. My name is KILLcRey. You can call me Chris. This season, we're doing some different things. If you've been following Chris Sees the Internet over the years, our many iterations of Chris Sees the Internet, I mean, really, it's just an excuse for me to get together and talk to my friends, interview interesting people, and, solve the world's problems and stuff. So, but this season we're switching things up. One of the things we love about the show the most is doing interviews and talking to our guests. So this season it's all interviews, starting today with my interview with my tour mate, the founder of the Happiness of Pursuit Festival, an artist and entrepreneur, 60 East. It's always good talking to 60. It's going to be really cool touring with him. Make sure you go to thopfest.net. That's THOP fest.net for all the information of the Happiness of Pursuit Festival tour. The Invisible Ponchos, 60 East, Curtis King, Noah James, all doing spectacular, amazing performances, unlike anything you've ever seen before. So make sure you make that. Make sure you make that. And show up, man. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully we're coming to a city near you or maybe to your city. Hit us up, DM us, let us know that you're going to come out to the show. It's going to be awesome. But yes, this season, all interviews. So we're going to be releasing a bunch of episodes this season. And I think as soon as we get them, you get them. But we'll go weekly, though. Something will be out there weekly, but we're a little ahead of schedule right now. So we're releasing them now. So again, check us out on tour. Come in, talk to our guest today, 60 East. Very insightful dude and a successful entrepreneur and independent artist. And check this out. We had a great conversation. I saw a side of 60 I don't get to see very often. I just decided to dive in right away with the questions, and it was cool. It was cool. Sometimes I even get to only see 60 the artist and the machine, the work machine, and I think we had a real people conversation. So check this out. Chris Sees the Internet. Make sure you subscribe, like, share, all that good stuff. And here's my conversation with 60 East. All right, brother. We're just going to jump right into it, man. First of all, thanks for sitting down with me. I know we like to check in with each other every so often. So obviously we've talked a lot before. We have a personal relationship, all that. But it was dawning on me that it's been quite a while since you've been able to tell like your full story. You know what I mean? Like at least remind people of like some of your background and how you kind of like moved into the position that you're in right now. So I'm gonna just throw out some random questions that I've been kind of thinking about. Like, do you remember? How well do you remember like the campaign that you did as a part of the group First Dirt for paid dues? Like, is it still fresh in your mind? Do you remember the feelings and all that stuff going through that?
Yeah, I remember it like it was yesterday, especially because like I documented a lot of it, and I was the one editing like the campaign videos. So like a lot of those moments are just filmed and like embedded in my memory, just because I spent so much time like filming and editing all the footage from that time, and yeah, it was just my biggest accomplishment as an artist, probably even to this date. And like that, that shit don't leave you. You know what I mean? That shit stays with you.
Do you feel like, I mean, is that how you really feel about it? Like, do you feel like getting on paid dues as an artist? Does it holds more weight for you currently right now than you starting your own festival?
They're definitely different. But I would say I would say my festival is more of like a testament to me as like a business person, not so much as an artist. Whereas getting on paid dues was strictly off of the artistry.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah.
and I could have started a festival had I not even been an artist. Most of the people that throw festivals aren't artists, so I mean, it was a feat, but I don't think I will definitely attribute that more to the business side of me.
I'm assuming now, like a lot of the audience and your audience who listens to your music has made the connection, right? Like they know that you're also the person who throws the Happiness of Pursuit Festival, and now a bunch of artists know that as well. Do you feel like there is an actual struggle to like maintain just your artistry side, like for people to see just the art before they see the festival? Like, is that an active thing, or is it something that you don't even really think about?
Yeah, because I'm just somebody that likes to do everything like at the highest level. So like the festival takes away from the artistry. So I feel like I gotta work twice as hard as an artist to not only earn my spot on the festival, but to also earn that respect um,
Mm.
as an artist and as from my contemporaries and the people that I'm in the scene with, and that I guess that's still a thing. Being respected by my peers. I don't know why, but I still kind of look at that like as part of the success or whatever. But I've kind of always enjoyed that. You know what I mean? Like obviously the fan love is the fan love, but like getting that love from somebody who I took from to do what I do. That cosign or that acknowledgement still means a lot, and to me, like it really means the most. If I played basketball and Michael Jordan or Kobe would have told me that I'm nice, like that shit would have, you know for any basketball player, you can just imagine, like, as an artist being able to hear that from artists that I looked up to. That's really like it really means a lot.
Is that something that you want to do for the long run, or do you imagine at some point you're simply the owner of the festival and maybe like your CFO is running it, or like, is that a goal? Or are you like, nah, I'm always going to be at the board meeting. I'm always going to be at, the staff meeting. Like what, like talk a little bit about that. Like, what are your feelings on that?
Hell no. Like I'm already looking for that person that I could give the festival to run.
Mm,
I honestly like I would just like to be the face, the spokesman, and the person that picks the lineup. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Or
yeah.
at least helps curate the lineup or whatever. All the business stuff, like I want no part of it. I would much rather focus on my art and my artist career and let somebody that went to school for business management and throwing a festival and marketing, event marketing, and all that stuff. Though I did specialize when I did go to school, it was for that, but it was more so from the artist side, like more learning how to promote and market an artist on, and giving a festival is not too different, but it's just not what I got in this to do.
Right,
And
right.
that's why I would like to spend all day with my art, but there's just so much work that goes into the festival that it takes away from that. So usually, like, I look at it like I have an off season. So usually the festival ends in October. So after the festival, from October to basically now, like this week, would be like, okay, these next 6 months, I'm gonna just focus on 60 East and the art and music and all that. But once April comes around, it's like, all right, it's time to start booking for the festival, lighting up sponsors, doing these competitions, these online contests, trying to come up with different plans to try to get people's attention, to try to, raise awareness about the festival, reaching out to sponsors, like all that starts coming into play. So, I like to try to have everything stacked up before April, just so like when it comes time to it, like I can just start releasing shit and it doesn't conflict with the festival, because once the festival comes in, it really takes a majority of my time.
do you feel like that, like basically does anything that is not making music make you, like, does it hurt, like having to do that shit?
Certain, I wouldn't say hurt. It's just kind of like annoying because that's not the shit that I want to be doing. But I've been finding joy in other aspects. Like I never liked work creating flyers and shit like that, but I've been finding I don't want to say a passion, but something that I like doing just because of the structure of it, because everything is balanced. And like I'm like such a
That's
organized
true.
and neat person. Like finding that perfect balance in something is fulfilling. And like even
That's
when I
dope.
did graffiti, even like when I did graffiti, I still do graffiti. Like when me and my daughter sit down and draw, like I'm over here tagging, piecing some shit up, and it's all about balance. You know what I mean? Creating symmetry within your art. And I've been finding that within designing flyers, and I'm like, oh, this is kind of dope. So that's something I've kind of been doing more. Also, like I had just finished writing a book, and like for the time that I was writing the book, there'd be times where I'd be writing music and I'd be like, all right, I'm tired of this. Let me get to the book. And it brought that same enjoyment and the same fulfillment out of it. So I like could definitely see myself continuing to do that more.
Yeah. So like
And yeah,
is that
sometimes I
like,
just don't be feeling like doing music, you know?
I don't ever hear you really talking about like that kind of stuff in interviews. Like I don't hear you saying like, this is how my mind works, like, and this is why I am the way I am. Like, is there a reason behind that, or you know what I mean? Like, why don't I can't imagine that it wouldn't benefit you. At least I imagine that it would benefit you greatly because people would see that side of you even more, and then you're like like people become real fans of that because that's the shit that people can relate to. You know what I mean? Like, but I know that you're very private with your thoughts. Like you're a quiet dude in general. On most good days, you're a quiet dude.
Yeah.
So like, is it a conscious thing not to talk about that more, or is that just you just being you?
It's probably me just being me. Also, like, I guess it's not something people like to really dive into. I mean, there would be a lot to unpack there. You know what I mean? Like trying to get into the psychological reasons why people do certain things,
Yeah.
the way they do.
Yep.
And I mean, like, I can't. I don't know if I'm even able to trace back when that started. I've always liked order, like
Mm-hmm.
things being in order. Neat. Like I've always been a neat person. Like super tidy. The balance thing, I don't. I mean, I know we've talked about like the DMT shit before too, but like when I was in that trip, all like when I was seeing shapes and just like the balance of things, everything was balanced. So I don't know, like that shit kind of always weighed heavy on me too, with with the symmetry of life and everything. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
So that definitely played a part in it.
Wondering, are you subconsciously holding that back? Like, are you just not comfortable yet to start talking about that with your audience, or like, you know?
Honestly, with this next album I'm dropping, I'm like really trying to get I don't want to say more personal because I feel like I'm really personal in my music, but like
Mm-hmm.
I'm definitely diving more into the behind the scenes and explaining things a lot more and trying to explain why this is why it is, based on upbringing and stuff like that. As far as platform, like I've always kind of liked having mystique. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah, and that's what I'm at.
as
It might
much
just
as
be that. Yeah.
as funny as it is, like I consider myself like an outgoing introvert because I like being outside, but when I'm outside doesn't mean I'm talking to everybody. You know what I mean?
I know.
I'm definitely
Yeah.
the cat in the corner keeping to himself. But like,
Mm-hmm.
yeah, like I've always liked that having mystique. A lot of the people that I looked up to, like they're not easily accessible. They're like they keep tight circles, and that mystique adds to their greatness, or if not greatness, their just overall brand. And it's kind of just like, oh, like this person does this thing that way, and if you want that, you got to go to them type shit. I've always liked that, and I've always felt like I'm also like, especially my past projects, that I've always been like super deep in my music. So I feel like everybody kind of knows everything about me anyway. Um, as far as like personal stuff, but like yeah, I mean, I low key I've been wanting to sign up for with a therapist just to be able to unload these kind of thoughts, and like
For
it's
real.
always dope. It's always dope being able to talk to people like you and other homies where I can just have these conversations and just kind of let out those thoughts and emotions. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
yeah, it's never really occurred to me to kind of do that publicly with my audience, at least because I always felt like the music was the therapy and that they were the therapist for that.
Yeah, yeah. I definitely feel you. I mean, I have no argument against the way you're doing it. I was just always like curious because, like, I know you're like one of those guys who, like, you're very resourceful. I mean, the festivals alone have shown that if people could see from year one to now, like you're that's one of your best skills is like you're very resourceful. Like you find ways to make things work, and you move pieces around, even if they seemingly don't look like they're gonna fit. Like you'll just keep working on it until it fits. That's dope, man. Yeah, I really wanted to get back to like having these kind of conversations because I feel like when we're not recording these and not putting these kind of things out, a lot of people don't actually know that this is how we talk all the time. Like, you know what I mean? Because again, we're either obsessed, addicted, or are crazy. But like the wanting to figure things out, it pours over into every aspect of our lives. It's not just beats and rhymes. You know what I mean? Like it's everything.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like we're always constantly reflecting. You know what I mean? And it's like whether we're publicly reflecting or just reflecting internally. Like I feel like it's always happening.
Yeah.
It's crazy. We're having this conversation today, and then you started with the Pay Dues thing because today is like the 10-year anniversary that we performed at Pay Dues,
Wow.
and
Today?
today is a 10-year anniversary,
Okay, so
and
we're
like
recording this on March 30th. For people who don't know, it's about 7:30 p.m. It's on March 30th, so it's a 10 years.
10 years, yeah, 10 years ago
Wow.
today we were performing, and like I was with the homie right now, and he was part of the performance, and we were just kind of reflecting on it. And like every anniversary, we've been posting about it and they'll talk about it. And the group chat, the group chat has been quiet for 6 months, but like it's Pay Dues Day, and like everybody, the whole team that was there, even though we don't kick it like we used to, there's still that group chat, and somebody's like,
Yeah.
10 years ago today, we did that. You know what I mean?
Right.
And
Right. Right.
so today, and like my birthday is in 2 days too, so it's just like always a lot of emotions around these days and reflecting. And it just because Pay Dues is so attached to my birthday, it's always kind of like what have I done since then, or
Mm,
what have I been able to do since then? Like have I been able to top that? Have I used that platform correctly and turned it into something benefit, like something MERS would be proud of? And I mean that question has been answered already because MERS has already told me that, and he's part of the festival now too and shit. Like finishing my book, it's really like the story kind of starts with Pay Dues and then ends with the full circle moment of booking MERS at my festival and performing and bringing him out and having that
yeah.
conversation. And yeah, that's kind of been like the past. I'm not counting. I'm counting last decade. The 2010 to 2020. Just because I started doing music I'd always been doing music, but I started like performing and being like an artist, like really trying to be an artist in 2010. So I always kind of dictated that as like my start. And how I wrote the book ended in 2019, so it was basically me covering the past 10 years. And it
Mm,
really started like just from the beginning, grinding, hitting that peak of Bay Dues, and then how that basically turned into a rap career, and then having a festival. And that's, I mean, I'm basically giving the story away, but yeah, that's basically how it's gone. And like for those people that've been paying attention, they know, there's been valleys and peaks in between that, but that's basically where it started to where it's at now.
there are a lot of people I feel that are doing the formula of throw an event, try to make this event a big deal, and that can help your artistry. Where do you feel like the people that are doing that, like the ones who can be doing it better, how could they be doing it better? Like, what are they getting wrong? Like, why isn't it like when they do, like, oh, if you hear them and they're like, I'm doing the same thing that 60's doing, but it doesn't work for them. Like, what is it that you're seeing that is missing?
They're whack. No, I'm just playing. For me, I think they're forgetting the building your audience part first, because very much so, the thing that sold tickets to the very first festival and even to this last festival, like a majority of the people that I see buying tickets are people that were fans of me prior to the festival even starting, and they're coming from out of town, they're coming from wherever, and that's a testament to just all the work that I put in touring around the country, like for the past decade. You know what I mean? Picking up 2-3 fans per show. After 1,000 shows, you got 3,000 people that know who you are, fuck with your music, and support your shit like that. And that was another idea. Like, part of the reason the festival was even born was because my daughter was born, and I kind of wanted to find a reason to be home more. And the idea was like, all right, I'm not going to tour this year. I'm going to throw a big show at the end of the year and try to make everybody come to me. And it kind of started happening. And I, from what I see, like some of the artists that are throwing events, that they're missing that part. So they're basically they're basically just throwing a local show for the locals. You know what I mean? Whereas our show was automatically a national event, because I have national attention from people that have been following me from the time I toured in New York fucking 5 years ago, or the time I was in Chicago fucking a couple years ago, or whatever. You know what I mean? And yeah, I mean, I feel like a lot of these cats also, I see a lot of them doing it they're throwing a lot of events, whether it's a monthly or whatever. But on top of that, they're also booking themselves as the headliner or the co-headliner or whatever. And it's kind of like,
Right.
Sometimes you gotta give that spot to other people. But I see it because they're investing in their headliner or whatever, so they want to be the co-headliner and shit like that. But if you're doing that every month, the same spot, it's not gonna have the same effect. And those shows where you give other people those opportunities are also going to help build the network.
How much do you, when you look out at the scene and the scenes that you dip in and out of, like on tours and stuff, like how much are you seeing that people are actually building like a viable scene, in that there's like things to graduate to, there's things to, like, I'm not talking about just a scene where people just watch each other perform on the weekends. You know what I mean? Like, how many?
Yeah.
Like, do you think people are getting it more now?
Yes and no. It's kind of tough in a lot of these places, because not a lot of people are taking that next step. You know what I mean? Like, I didn't even realize what I was doing until you just mentioned it. But like, building the Dot Fest has given people a level to climb up to. You know what I mean? And like, a lot of places are missing that. They don't have that next thing. And I'm starting to see places pop up with different opportunities and shit like that. But yeah, every scene's different, but every scene's the same in the sense that we all feel the same shit. You know what I mean? Like, the scene needs more love, more. We need more people throwing shows. We need more venues. We need more opportunities. Like that. That's just like common in every scene that I've ever been to.
That's funny.
There's definitely certain scenes that are more. Oh, I guess there's certain scenes that I've noticed where it's kind of like the locals really support their local music communities.
Yeah.
And I've noticed a lot of scenes aren't like that, but there are certain pockets of scenes. Like, I noticed like Seattle, Minneapolis are really like that, where they really build up their locals.
Yeah, that's cool, man. I know what you mean too. Like, there's definitely scenes like that. I don't know what that is. I mean, at this point, it's just got to be like a perfect combination of things. You know what I mean? Like we said, like it's the perspective when you really look at it from like a macro standpoint. Like there's a lot of factors that go into like creating a scene or creating a thing. But yeah, I think definitely. I mean, I'm telling you, dude, Thought Fest for sure. I've been referring to the festival as like a graduated thing for a while now, for a few years now, especially in our city. Like I think that it is a place where it is now like there's proof that getting on that festival, getting in front of that audience, it's a very loyal audience. Like getting in front of them can help your career for sure. We're about to have this competition out on this tour, and it's going to go to all these different cities, and people are going to compete for a spot on the festival. Man, this is like the really like the safest contest you can be in. Like, because the people who like are in charge of it, the people who judge it, like the chances that the artists get, the things that are promised and delivered to them, like they are all literally coming from like a good place. Like they're literally coming from a chance to get like someone like a real, because we see what it can do for somebody. And like we know what that's worth. Like you literally should not be competing if you don't take it serious. Because the person who's going to win in every city is the person who takes it the most serious. Like that's just for sure. Like the math always equates to that. And that means, if you think that only means like make a good song, then you're still off a bit. Because that's just a part of it. It's only a part of it. Like you need to perform it. You need to have already told your friends to be there for you. Like how much better does that look? That looks amazing when you do that. That lets the people know that run this thing that, oh shit, this person is someone to make an investment on. Because that's what this really is. I think the competition is the artist making an investment in themselves, and then when they win, Thought Fest makes an investment in them. And like that's fucking dope. Give me one memory of someone winning the contest that like that really, like, I don't know, like it just warmed your heart, or you're just like, damn, this is dope. Like this was really them. I know that could be all of them, but like just give me one of like your favorites.
Yeah, I mean, I was about to say all of them, because everybody that has won has used that momentum, and I see where it takes them. Like once the local promoters see that you're at the festival, they're like, oh, let's book them now. They just did the festival, blah 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 blah, and I've seen that with all of them, and all of them have been able to use this the momentum to go on to other things, and like to really, I don't want to say launch, because I don't want to take credit for all the work they've done outside of the festival, but I feel like it definitely excelled. You know what I mean?
For sure.
I've definitely ran into like these cats, and they'll tell me, they're like, yo, being on that festival, I met so and so, and then they got me this opportunity, and that led to this opportunity, and yada yada yada.
Yep. Yeah.
And
I agree, dude. I agree 100%. And man, if you guys are looking to be a part of this, thoughtfest.net, go there right now. You can sign up for the cities that are already listed. There's probably going to be a few more added. And if you're like in a city where you're like, man, how come it doesn't come here? Make it come there. Like there's ways to do it. That like the DM actually works. Like you can just DM the crew, DM ThoughtFest, let them know like, hey, I have this venue, or hey, I want to do this. Like, well, at least like, again, let's just be honest. We'll think about that shit for sure. Like if it works out, like we'll definitely try to do it. We're not like not trying to do it, but like sometimes we need to know like where the artists are that are ready now. Like, and the cities that we're in, there's artists in each of those cities that are ready. Like we know some of them already. Like we know that they're like out there in the scene working. So however you want to do it, I definitely say if you come for the festival, again, thoughtfest.net, sign up, and the show in itself is going to be amazing. You just being on that bill alone is going to be amazing. And I'm sure that's going to do, again, if you come and have a good showing, it's going to do something for you. Like it just is. It's gonna.
I mean, at the very least, if you don't win, I mean, getting to build with Curtis, me, Noah, yourself, like just this panel of judges and people that you're gonna be able to showcase in front of and build with is beneficial in itself. You know what I mean? Like,
without a doubt, dude. I'm super glad that people got to see this side of you because this is the side that I love, man, and it's dope to hear your mind and your outlook on things because obviously you have a long track record of making the right choices, and so yeah, dude, thank you again. When's the record come out?
TBA.
TBA. Okay, but watch close, right? Because it's close, right?
Yeah, I mean the album's gonna be a few months, but there should be a project coming out like in the next couple of weeks.
Wow. All right. So
that project is gonna lead into the album.
And then what's your Instagram? Because I know it's not 60 East anymore.
60 East 909.
60 East 909, and we'll put it up on the screen and in the link. So make sure you check the links and subscribe to Platform Collection. Turn on the like, subscribe, and this is what Chris Sees the Internet is from now on. We're getting the good piece of steak out of the show now. Like it was always the conversations. You guys love the conversation. You guys always ask about the conversations. So now it's just the conversation. So just this episode with 60, and then I'll see you again. We're lining them up. Hip Hop Eddie's out there lining up the interviews, so we're going to be having a lot of dope conversations like this. And then 60, please come back. And like I said, we'll do something out on tour with the four of us.
Yeah, for sure.
Cool, man. All right, talk to you soon.
Yeah, thanks for having me, bro.
Yep.